What's up everyone, it's Bones here. In today's video, I'll be showcasing a deck in which I actually found in GG Yu-Gi-Oh's Discord deck building section, and I wanted to put it onto the channel because I just thought it was hilarious. Altergeist is one of the decks that can pull off playing Mystic Mine, and you'll see how the rest of the deck plays and looks as the video goes on. But before I begin, if you happen to enjoy content like this, clicking those thumbs up and subscribe buttons would be greatly appreciated, as it goes a long way in supporting the channel and shows me that you like content like this. So one last thing I'd like to mention is that the deck that was on the Discord server isn't the same list exactly by just 4 cards in the main deck that I switched, and 3 of them were Solemn Strike, in which I switched with Trap Trick because I wanted something chainable that you could activate at any time for multi-faker, and something to get you into your other traps. Solemn Strike also had the potential to be dead with the 1500 life point cost, which made me feel this would just make the deck more consistent. But as you'll see, my opponent's going to open a very good hand, and so am I, but I don't want to shotgun the mine because I don't know what my opponent's playing. I don't want to keep Blink Karibo there and potentially put myself at a disadvantage. So I'm going to use the Trap Trick when my opponent adds the invocation off of Alistair, and then I'm going to get D-Barrier off to make sure that he can't fusion summon. And he's going to ash my multi-faker, which is fine, but you'll see that now I'm going to get the spoofing and then get the multi-faker again, and special summon Silk here, I believe, so that I can go into Hextia, search Kunk, I think. Yeah, I do search the Conquery. And then I'm going to normal summon the Marionetter, setting the protocol. And I do want to point out that I am going to make a minor misclick, which is going to set me back a little bit in this game, but you're going to see that I'm going to kind of big brain my way out of it, and I'll point it out when it comes up. So you'll see I have the spoofing on field, and that's the misclick. I didn't mean to search the faker, putting back the Conquery. And as you can see, I'm at a point where my opponent is actually getting through my board because of Meltdown, and I would have liked to have Conquery here. But you'll see that my opponent's going to get the DPE out, and now I have to play through DPE, knowing that I want to win through mine here. And I'm going to Kunk here with the search from the Miluseek, I believe. And then the Hextia is going to add a manifestation, and I did that because I'm going to go through mine to win this. And you'll see that my opponent's going to get the DPE back. Now, I did this on purpose, that I did not use the spoofing, because I wanted my opponent to believe it was a misplay. My opponent didn't have a card in his hand, so he couldn't negate the Macabre, or he couldn't negate the mine with the Macabre. And all I needed to do was bait out the DPE because I knew one of the back rows was Schism, and I didn't believe he had any other back row, but if he did have back row hate, then oh well. But as you'll see, as soon as the DPE comes out, I'm going to use the spoofing, making him believe that it's a misplay, and he's going to change the DPE. And now I can activate the mine, set to pass. And now we're going to go through some turns of passing, but I'm going to kind of set you guys here through this because I want you to see another card in the deck that helped me win this, because I believe my opponent stayed drawing because he may have played Heartbeat's Feather Duster in the main deck or something like that. And this deck actually has a little bit of a counter to that sitting under Mystic Mine and kind of having back row to assert your dominance is kind of strong here, but you'll see that here it is. I'm gonna get Lord of the Heavenly Prison, and now I'm under mine with him having 3 monsters, and Lord of the Heavenly Prison can keep on activating, protecting my set cards, so that even if he gets rid of mine, I can still play. And my opponent's going to continue to draw, but it doesn't matter. As you see, most of his hand is monsters. The minute I set a card which was infinite impermanence in his droplet column, my opponent loses connectivity, as you can see why. Onto the deck profile, this deck really mirrors the Sky Striker list that won YCS Hartford using the 3 mines and the 3 demise of the land with the trap trick and D-barriers. Having the synergy with Imperm and Faker here just makes it feel that much more natural. I want to point out that there's only one Lord of the Heavenly Prison, and it's because you don't want to see multiple of it. I feel like Lord of the Heavenly Prison is one of those cards that when you have multiple, it's terrible, but if you have just one, then if you see it, you protect your back row, and if you don't see it, you play with the rest of the cards in your deck. But anyways, onto the card by card, there's 1 Conquery, 3 Marionetter, 3 Faker, 3 Miluseek, the Lord of the Heavenly Prison, the 1 Pook, and the 2 Silk, which I believe is standard and has been standard since the conception of the deck. The 3 Mystic Mines, the 3 Prosperities, which I think Prosperity is correct in this build over the Extrav, because in regular Altergeist, you would want the draw 2 just to fill yourself on back row. But with this version of Altergeist, you're actually trying to get into your Mystic Mine and your D-barrier specifically. Because spoofing and Marionetter, Seek, and Faker are all 3 ofs, it's pretty easy to get your engine going, or at least with Marionetter, get you somewhat of a disruption, or a way to summon your... But then you'll see we have the 1 Metaverse, and of course this is for mine, the 1 Protocol, the 1 Manifestation, the 2 Protocol, and again, I believe this is standard. This was the other difference from our decks, that the original list I saw was playing 2 Manifestation and 0 Heavenly Prison. I wanted Heavenly Prison in here to protect the back row because I knew that if mine was removed from the field, then the deck just became vulnerable. And having this main deck answer to it just felt strong in my opinion. You're free to do as you like, of course. The 3 Demise of the Land to search your Mystic Mines or activate your Mystic Mine. The 3 Spoofing, the 1 Called by the Grave, the 3 D-Barrier, the 3 Imperm, and the 3 Trap Trick. For the extra, the 1 Memory Gant, the 2 Kadolga, or the 2 Prime Banshee, the 3 Hextia, the 2 Link Kariba, the 1 Anima, the 1 Artemis, the 1 Lena, the 1 Dark, the 1 Celine, the 1 Nightmare Unicorn, the 1 Access Code. And for the side deck is another really strong part about this deck in my opinion. The 3 Shifter, and it's because unlike regular Geist where you're trying to kind of grind more, here you're trying to go into Dimensional Barrier or the Mystic Mine. So by getting an easy standard setup with Multi-Faker and Silk, or just some back row set, it's pretty easy to just drop a Shifter and make your opponent play into it while you floodgate them out of the game. Then there's the 3 Secret Village of the Spellcasters, the 3 Evenleys, which again synergizes with the Multi-Faker, and it's a board wipe, so good reason to play it. The 3 Solemn Judgments basically protect yourself from any back row removal that you may see in your game 2s and 3s. And then lastly, the Rivalry of the Warlords, because it kind of solos decks like Despia. But anyways, if you made it this far into the video, I thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and feel free to let me know your thoughts down below. It's Bones, signing out.